As a freelance writer, especially one living in Nigeria, I feel like you're probably going to lose your mind a couple of times effortlessly. So today I woke up feeling a bit unmotivated about my career, freelance writing in general, and I just felt like I should share this feeling, with some people that might be in the same position. So maybe you're starting out freelance writing, or you're a beginner, or you're just about to start. You might get a few things. And I just want you to know that these things are normal, maybe. Yeah, so that's why I'm sharing this. It's my personal experience, and I believe I have enough experience to talk about after almost 5 years freelance writing. So yeah, let's get into the video. It's going to be very, it's a personal video. It's my personal experience. I'm going to be sharing 10 things nobody told me about freelance writing. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to share with you today is that you are going to have to swallow your pride a couple of times. Okay, so it's reaching out to people can be a normal thing, but it's a problem when you're a bit introverted like me. All right, so I had a lot of issues reaching out to strangers, talking to them, trying to tell them what I can do, and also maybe trying to follow up with them after a few days of no response, or a static response, trying to follow up with them, trying to check up on them. All of a sudden I'm everybody's friend, and it was not normal to me because I'm usually not that outgoing. All right, so but then you're going to have to swallow your pride sometimes in the course of freelance writing. Also, because clients are not always nice, guys, you're going to come in contact with a lot of rude clients, and well, don't blame them. People are going through different things, and you don't know who is going through anything, and you just bump into them and you're asking to work for them, especially when you follow the wrong approach and then you just go to them and you're trying to win them over, and it can be very badging. And if you are unlucky at the moment, you're going to get the insult of your life. It has happened to me a couple of times. People have been plain rude, some snob. Actually, I prefer you snub me than you reach out with one or two abusive words. But yes, nobody told me that part of freelance writing, and it's real. So take notes. The next thing I'm going to say is that you do not have much legal protection as a freelance writer, especially if you're working internationally. You're going to be interfacing with people from different countries, different currencies, different time zones. It's going to be uneasy, especially when you're starting out, to make transactions. Okay, you're always going to be at a risk of losing your work, because even if you collect 100% of your fee upfront, before you do the job, you collect the complete money. Even if you've got to that stage yet, it's still risky because there are a lot of fake transactions. So many things can happen, and then just know that as a freelance writer, you don't have a complete legal protection. And nobody told me any of these, and I have actually lost a lot of my work. I've been scammed a few times in the course of my job, because I wasn't aware of these things, and I just happened to really give off my jobs, and then I lost because I didn't get paid and my job was gone. So yeah, we don't have a lot of legal protection as freelance writers. The next thing I'll say is that the competition will increase. Suddenly everybody is a freelance writer, especially writing. All right, everybody feels like, because writing is such an easy thing in quotes to do, everybody feel like, I can write, I can sit down and think of something and write. And so everybody's posing as a freelance writer. So this leaves you with a lot of competition, which is why when you go on most job boards, you can see writers charging very low, and you're like, how can you charge this? You are writing, this is not an easy thing. It's because a lot of writers are not really well versed in the skill. They just did a minor thing and felt, oh yeah, I can start writing now. And so because when potential clients come on those boards, they see a lot of writers, and then they just, choose one. And even if sometimes they get the job badly done and they have to redo it, but at that first instance, they're not thinking about getting the job badly done. They're just thinking, let me find an affordable writer. And so yeah, there's a lot of competition at this moment. We are dealing with AI competition, so human writers are now competing with robots. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of competition in the freelance writing world, and so that's another thing you should brace yourself for, which means that you need to have something unique that you are bringing to the table. So the next thing nobody told me about freelance writing is that you might never have to use your certificates, your academic certificates, throughout your career. Okay, so I studied mechatronics engineering in the university, and I felt like when I was starting out, I felt like this was going to be an edge because I could easily say, oh, this is what I studied, and so it gives me more edge, especially when it comes to jobs in that niche. But nope, it doesn't. Okay, I can tell you that throughout the time I've been freelance writing, I've never really had to use my certificate. Really, I've never had to use, nobody asked for it, because what they want to see is your skills, your experience, your records. What have you done before? Have you done stuff? That's all. Most times clients do not want to see your academic certification. Another thing nobody told me about is having a steady retainer client is a lifesaver. Really, clients that they are steady, they give you consistent job. Maybe you're on a monthly payments agreement with them, or weekly or something, but they are steady, they are long term, you've had them over time. These clients are lifesavers, because remember I said that there are highs and lows. So in those moments when you are not getting any job, everything is just looking bland, those clients are the ones that would save you, really, because they are the ones that will keep giving you money to sustain yourself while you look out for other jobs and just wait out the low season of freelance writing. So I'm saying in essence that if you have a long retainer clients, then value them, because they are gold. Another thing is that you are most likely going to be a ghostwriter, all right, for the better part of your career time, especially as a beginner. When you are writing for other people, then it's most likely going to be ghostwriting. This means that they are literally buying the rights to your work. So you're writing for people, you're writing and selling your work. While this is good and this can be acceptable, there are times when people need to see your work. When you've worked for a long time and then maybe you're trying to get a job and you're telling people, oh, I've written for like 5 years, and they're like, oh wow, can I see your portfolio? Can I see the work you've done? And they are asking this because they want to see works that actually have your name published to them. And then you check and you only have a few because you've sold the rest out, and then you just realize that you've been doing ghostwriting work for a better part of your career. This is fine, all right, but I would advise, especially as a beginner, there's nothing much you can do about that. You have to start from somewhere. But I'd advise that as you go, you start to look for a way to really own your work. You can start writing blogs, you can begin a blog, you can start up a Medium channel, whatever it is. Just own your own, find a way to put jobs that you actually own, that have your name to it. Or maybe you can find clients, some clients don't mind adding your name, your byline to the work that you've done. They don't mind. So you can discuss this with clients when you've got into a certain stage of your career. So another thing that nobody told me is that freelance writing is hard. It is difficult. Really, I feel like as a freelance writer, especially one that is working in Nigeria, you're probably going to lose your mind a couple of times effortlessly. Really, like, it is difficult. It's not as easy as you might see it to be. Now, freelance writing is something that requires creativity. It means that you have to be creative, because you can't just write if you're not creative. So the creative juices have to be flowing. And there are days when you wake up unmotivated, you don't want to do anything, all right, you don't feel like putting your creative powers, creative side to work. You just want to rest or do something else, or maybe do something on autopilot. But freelance writing is not something you can do on autopilot. You can't just write because you can be writing and doing something else. You have to put your mind completely to it, and you have to be creative, or you're not going to produce a good job. So freelance writing is difficult. It requires your time, it requires your energy. It's going to drain you because you have to do it. You have to be writing even when you don't feel like writing. Remember that to write, you need to refill your creative juices. So that means you need to also read constantly. As a freelance writer, you need to keep up with updates, with news, information. You need to read, just read books generally, so that you can improve your vocabulary, you can learn new stuff. You can reading is important because it gives you ideas. Do you understand? So these are things that you need to do to keep your career going. And these are not easy things, because some days you just want to lay in bed and drink coffee and watch Netflix. But you can't, because you have a deadline for the next 48 hours, and it's a pretty complex task. So you need to get working already. So yes, freelance writing is difficult. Something else that nobody told me is that freelance writing can be confusing. Yes, sometimes when you start out as a freelance writer, you need to decide whether you want to niche down or you just want to be a general writer, because it can be confusing. There are several career paths that you can take from freelance writing. So you can start out as a freelance writer, maybe you're just writing blogs, and then all of a sudden you see a technical writing job that is really good and you can do it, and the pay is really nice, so you want to switch. And then before you know, you see a product description job, and there are just so many career paths to it. So it can be confusing, and you need to be guided. You need to know what you want, or you are going to lose your way somewhere. Okay, so guys, this is all I can share for now. I'm sure there are more. If you have more things that nobody told you about freelance writing, then please share them with me in the comments. I would really love to read them. Okay, so one thing I'm going to say is that despite all of this, I would still choose freelance writing, because it is totally worth it. It's worth everything. It's worth the loneliness, the pain, the scam. It's actually worth it. So it's something that I enjoy doing, and if you put your mind to it, you'd actually enjoy doing it. And not to mention the fact that you would reap big time benefits from freelance writing. So yes. All right, so thank you so much for staying with me. I feel like I have just ranted and it was a much necessary, much needed rant, so I am happy about it. So thank you for listening to my rant, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed, and keep your notifications on so you can get notifications from me. All right, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye.